The first round of the 2017 Mountain East Women's Basketball Tournament is over. In the first game this afternoon at noon, it was Shepherd versus West Virginia Wesleyan. It was the 7 seed versus the 10 seed game. West Virginia Wesleyan came in very shorthanded, not having Rachel Vandertoolen or Mari Stewart, who was named to honorable mention team of the All Mountain East Conference team for the 2016-17 season. Shepherd would take the lead and win this ball game 68-65. The Bobcats led at the half 37-30, and Shepherd got hot in the third, shooting 10 of 14 from the floor to take a 54-50 lead into the fourth. With under a minute left, Stacey Reamer hit a huge 4-point play that put the Bobcats just 1 point behind the Rams, but it was not enough, as on the last possession for West Virginia Wesleyan, Shepherd forced a missed shot, got the rebound, and was fouled. They would hit some free throws, and that would be the end of the ball game for West Virginia Wesleyan, so their season ends shorthanded. Wesleyan had some good players in Stacey Reamer and Tara Goldman tear things up for them, but unfortunately their season is over and the Shepherd Rams move on. They will take on Wheeling Jesuit at noon. The first game of the second session was your West Liberty Hilltoppers taking on Charleston. These teams split home and home wins this season, and this is basically a home game for Charleston, this tournament being at the Civic Center in Charleston. The game would end up 82-55. It would end the Toppers season. They would finish at 9-20. McKenna Shives would add 1 3-pointer to raise her total to 106, leading the NCAA Division II in that category. Her season would end with 106. The way this game got started, these two teams combined for 45 points in the first quarter, but in the second, the two teams would combine for 16. Charleston with just 11 points, West Liberty with 5, and in the second half, it was all Charleston. Unfortunately for the Toppers, again, their season would end with a loss 82-55. In that third quarter, the Toppers would go on a 9-0 run to cut the lead down to just 2. But a few minutes later, Charleston would go on their own 9-0 run to spread the lead back out to 54-43, and it would be all Charleston after that, as West Liberty could not come back and seal a victory here in the first round of the Mountain East Conference Tournament. So unfortunately, their season is over. Charleston moves on to take on Glenville State. Not much of a reward for winning in the first round, having to take on the #1 team in the conference. The quarterfinals are set for Thursday, March 2nd. The matchups are going to be Shepherd versus Wheeling Jesuit at noon, and then it'll be West Virginia State versus Virginia Wise at 2:15. Both of those games will be in the first session. The second session starts at 6 p.m. It'll be Charleston versus #1 Glenville State. That should be an interesting game, the first one for Glenville in this tournament. And then at 8:15, the nightcap will be Fairmont State versus Notre Dame. The first round of the Mountain East Conference men's tournament is over. The first game on the docket was Glenville State versus Virginia Wise. The winner would take on West Liberty on Friday, March 3rd at noon. This game would end up with Glenville State winning 84-66. The only lead Virginia Wise would have was a 2-point lead to start off the game. Then after that, Glenville took over and never looked back. Shooting was the cause of the huge lead for Glenville State in the first half. It was 41-29 at the end, but the stat sheets were similar. Rebounds, all kinds of stats were very similar between the teams, but shooting percentage was definitely off, as Glenville State had 52% and Virginia Wise shot just 35. The largest lead in the first half was just 13 points, but when it got into the second, Glenville State took a 26-point lead, ending the game 84-66. First team All-MEC member Brett Morris cashed in with 28 points and 9 rebounds. Terry Davis Jr. with 17 points and 11 rebounds as well. Again, Glenville State will take on West Liberty this Friday at noon. If you cannot get down here to watch it, be sure to check out on Comcast Channel 14 if you subscribe to Comcast Cable. They will have the full Metro News broadcast of the game. If you want to listen to the West Liberty audio-only broadcast, tune in to hilltoppersports.com, click on the Game Day Central page, and find our audio-only link. And the second game of the night was Urbana versus Charleston. This wasn't much of a game either. This one was the winner taking on Fairmont State on Friday. It took 8.5 minutes for one of these teams to get into double digits. It finally did, with Urbana getting to 11 points almost halfway through the first half. It opened up a bit after that as the first half ended with Charleston up 36-26, a 10-point lead. The second half was all Charleston as they led by 15. 59-44 at the 10-minute mark of the second half. The final score was 76-62. Charleston will take on Fairmont State 6 p.m. on Friday, March 3rd. For the rest of the schedule on Friday for the men's side, it'll be the Toppers starting things off at noon against Glenville State. Then it'll be Wheeling Jesuit against West Virginia Wesleyan at 2:15, and the first session will be over after that. The 6 o'clock session, or the 6 o'clock game to start off the second session, will be Fairmont State and Charleston. And then the nightcap is Notre Dame versus Shepherd. So that'll be a very good day of basketball on Friday for the men's Mountain East Conference basketball tournaments. Again, tune in to hilltoppersports.com to take a listen to our West Liberty broadcast, or tune in to Comcast Channel 14 to watch the full Metro News broadcast. I am Todd Allum for the West Liberty Sports Network.